Hi, I'm Maria, and today I'm going to make a blueberry fool. A fool is a British dessert. Brits give their desserts kind of weird names, so a fool is whipped cream and fruit. We're going to start with a blueberry syrup. A lot of times you just kind of macerate the fruit or just like that. A lot of times you'll just macerate the fruit or fold in fresh fruit, but we're making a syrup today. That's about a cup of blueberries, quarter cup of water, woo, hot pan, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Maple syrup gives it a nice kind of, you could use brown sugar if you wanted to, but I like the maple syrup. This is some mint and some lemon verbena. Now, lemon verbena is something that you can grow pretty easily. It's always available in garden stores, but you don't see a lot of it in grocery stores. You could just use lemon peel if you wanted. It's not quite the same, but it works pretty well. Now we're just going to let this simmer a little bit until the blueberries pop. A couple minutes, that's all, and then we'll puree it, and that'll be our syrup. All right, so the berries are all popped. It's nice and juicy, and now I'm just going to use an immersion blender to puree it. You could also put this in a regular stand blender, but I like my little stick wand. And then a lot of times with things like this, you get the berries stuck on the sides. You just want to check and make sure they all get eviscerated in here. This is going to make about a 3/4 cup to a cup of liquid, and you want to be sure you use a larger measuring cup because it'll splash a little if you just use a cup. All right, we're good to go. Now I'm going to put this in the refrigerator and let it cool a little bit because you don't want it to be warm when you blend it or when you fold it into your whipped cream. Okay, for the whipped cream component of our dish, this is a cup of whipping cream or heavy cream. You can use either one. Sometimes they're labeled one, sometimes they're labeled the other. They're both 36% milk fat, which is what you need to make that nice fluffy cream. I actually have a whisk attachment for my little immersion blender, so that's pretty handy. You could also use a regular whisk, or you could use a stand mixer or whatever you want. To the cream, I'm adding a little sugar, and that'll make it nice and sweet, and then just a little salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon or a pinch. Just want to kind of balance out those flavors. And now I'm just going to start whisking. All right, so this is what you would call soft peaks, where it kind of falls over. If you can see it kind of bloops. And that's what you would want normally if you were making something that you were just putting the cream on, but since we're going to fold in this liquid, I'm actually going to whip it further, kind of over whip it. So this is a 1/2 cup of the syrup. I've reserved the rest of it for finishing, and I'm just going to pour this in while I whisk, which means I need to switch hands. You can see it makes it a really pretty color with the blueberries. I'm just going to scrape out the rest of this cup. And then scrape down the sides of this because you get kind of plain stuff at the bottom. You want to get it all mixed in so no streaks remain. And now we are ready to plate. Now we're ready to assemble. You could actually do these components ahead of time and keep them in the fridge until you were ready for your party or whatever, and just plate them up whenever you're ready to go. I'm using cultivated blueberries for these. You just want to put a nice handful in the bottom. You could also use, these are wild blueberries or low bush blueberries. They're a lot smaller. I kind of like the big ones in this particular dish just because you get that nice pop, but you could go either way. And the wild blueberries are more of a delicacy. Then we just dollop some cream on top, just like that. And then this is our reserved syrup. Pour that around. You can add a little more. Generally what you want to do is kind of do them all at once so you can evenly distribute it. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of my verbena right on top. And there you have it, the blueberry fool.